the first one, so the heart sins.
In the heart?
You say heart? Oh, which parts of the heart sin and receive blood?
Okay, so.
Sin.
So when we're talking about parts of the heart, we're talking about these chambers, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what happens here?
It goes to this chamber.
What happens? Okay, it goes to that chamber, so it goes from there to there, and where does it come from?
The
vena cava.
So there's no oxygen from
Comes
the body.
from veins, right?
Veins, yep. Veins bringing blood back to an atrium, so enters an atrium. Are we bothering you here? We're standing right in
No.
So how do I, with the wording, with this, how do we...
Okay, let's see. Know which parts of the heart, which parts of the heart sends blood to the lungs? Let's just do one by one.
Pulmonary artery.
Point to the part that sends blood to the lungs. No, part of the heart, not a vessel.
Oh.
Well, actually, the other
To the
one.
lungs. Okay.
What's this one?
And what is that called, this one?
Tricuspid.
What side?
It's the right.
Right what?
Ventricle.
Ventricle. Right ventricle sends blood to to the lungs.
So what does the pulmonaries? I got the
Yes.
pulmonary.
Okay, here's my heart. That's my right side. Right? Yeah? That's your heart, right? Yeah. Okay. When you're looking at the heart, like a diagram of the heart, you're looking at it face on, so the left side looks like it's on the right. But this one, you're looking, the same thing. Okay, so what's the next one? What part of the heart?
So the right sends blood to
Okay,
the
so
lungs.
we've then said, sends blood to the lungs. Now sends blood to the rest of the body. Which part of the heart sends blood to the rest of the body? Left ventricle.
So where do the pulmonary arteries and veins come into play?
They're not parts of the heart, so they don't come into play till I ask you, well, which vessels?
Oh.
So this sends blood to the lungs, but...
No, it goes this way and then out there.
Oh, okay. All right. That makes sense.
I have a diagram on your quiz that will hopefully get you to figure this all out. Okay, and what's next?
Heart, so the heart receives blood?
Receives blood from body, from lungs. Receives blood from lungs.
Receives blood.
Left atrium?
Left atrium.
Okay, definitely an atrium. Receives blood as an atrium, and it's from the left side. Okay, and receives blood from the body.
Right.
Right atrium. So have we done everything?
No, receives blood from the body would be the right ventricle.
No.
Oh, right atrium.
Receives. Yeah. All right.
So receiving is mostly the atriums.
Not mostly, only.
Only.
Yeah.
And then the ventricles are the ones.
So just think about when the pumping to the heart is this strong part down here.
Receives blood
Think
from
of
the lungs.
ventricles as venting the blood, and an atrium,
Yeah,
you know,
pumps.
like an open air. It's usually on top of a building,
Mhm.
so that's it lives on top of it.
Pumps
Okay.
blood to the body, receives blood from the body.
Mm-mm.
Or receives.
Receives.
It's oxygenated.
From the lung.
From the lungs.
From the lungs.
From the lungs.
From the
From the
lungs?
body.
Via a vein. Just
From the lungs to the body. From the body to the lungs.
Right, okay.
Makes sense, right? Because think about oxygen.
So receives blood from the body and pumps it to the lungs. Receives blood from the lungs.
Goes
pumps
to the
it
body.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay? So you don't have to memorize anything. All you have to do is kind of,
Know it.
just sort of work it out.
So we don't have to memorize the anatomy of the heart.
Well, I'm just
besides the
saying-
ventricles and that.
I'm just saying in your head, it's not about memorizing, it's just about kind of putting it all together. Okay, now for these people on this side. Okay, from the body to the lungs. Pick up oxygen. From the lungs to the body.
So, okay.
Okay? Yeah,
From the body to the lungs.
from the body to
To the
the
lungs.
back to, sorry, back to the heart, from the lungs, and then pump to the body. Okay.
Go back to the water.
It goes, where is it? It goes right through there. Yeah, so this is not completely symmetrical, you know, and, yeah, so it goes here to the aorta. Okay, so now the vessels, do I have something about the vessels too?
Yeah, it says in which vessels and chambers blood is oxygenated,
Okay.
deoxygenated.
Okay, do you
So
have
it's
any problem with that?
oxygenated on the right.
On the
and-
left.
On the left, yeah. And then deoxygenated on the right.
What are we talking about here?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're
Blood
talking
vessels
about, that was in the heart,
Yeah.
but in the blood vessels, it's, well, you can tell me.
The blood vessels, it's oxygen.
Yeah,
You could
well,
do the big ones first.
That's a good idea.
So
They're the
the-
two big ones.
So the aorta
Is, yeah.
is
Oxygenated.
oxygenated.
Yeah, and it came from where? Where'd this blood come from?
From the lungs.
From the left ventricle.
Left ventricle. Okay, left ventricle has
Yeah.
oxygenated blood, pumps it out through the aorta to the body. And then this big one,
So
This
the
is
vene-
pulmonary artery.
No.
pulmonary artery. Okay, artery away, and it's being pumped from the right ventricle to the lungs.
Yeah.
Then something changed in the lungs, right? We could pick up CO2, pick up oxygen, pick off CO2, and then come back to where? From the lungs?
To the
left atrium.
Pulmonary,
Left atrium in the what?
pulmonary vein.
Oh, yeah.
pulmonary vein.
Pulmonary veins.
Pulmonary
These guys.
So from the lungs, blood. What is it from the lungs to the left atrium?
Yeah, through veins. So blood that travels toward the heart is always traveling in veins.
Okay, so this is the pulmonary veins, and this is pulmonary arteries.
Mm-hmm. So throughout the body, oxygenated blood is found in arteries of the which circuit?
Systematic.
Pulmonary.
Oxygenated in
Oh, wait.
arteries of the, you can just think about this stuff. Yeah, but this is part of the systemic circuit. right?
Systemic.
Okay, arteries of the systemic circuit have oxygenated blood.
Okay.
Arteries of the pulmonary circuit,
It's deoxygenated.
deoxygenated. Veins of the systemic circuit, veins coming back from your tissues to the heart,
So that's deoxygenated.
deoxygenated, and veins of the pulmonary circuit. Did I ask you that already? No. Veins of the pulmonary.
Oxygenated.
Yes.
So they're just opposite in the pulmonary circuit and the systemic circuit.
So the red ones are oxygenated, the blue ones are deoxygenated.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, except they didn't make that blue. I'm not exactly sure why. And what about? Are you okay with the valves?
The valves,
The valves, these valves,
the AV
AV valve,
and these valves.
semilunar.
Yeah.
And the other one is these two, between the atrium and the ventricle.
Atrium.
Uh-huh.
And then what's the semi?
Semilunar, there's one here, which I won't be able to put a label on, but there it is, between the ventricle, left ventricle, and the aorta. And then this one here, between the right ventricle and the pulmonary.
So total there's 4 valves.
Yeah. Okay.
And the valves prevent the blood from going backwards.
Mhm. And while we're at it, what's this?
That's your trachea.
That's true. And what's this going off of it?
That's your bronchial.
Very good. Nobody asked to see the thoracic models, right? We're okay with the thoracic model?
Let's see.
The ones with balloons.
Lungs, the
Diaphragm.
diaphragm, the trachea, the bronchioles.
Okay.
And when you
So
pull it
when
down,
when the diaphragm contracts, the lungs, the ribcage expands.
Yeah,
And then
but I
when
was
it,
wondering about the model. You guys okay with the model?
We might as well bring it out.
What's the
You want to see it?
superior,
Okay.
superior vena cava?
Superior vena cava.